everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of Blades in the Dark, Embers in the Ashes. Gosh, we're on episode 8. We just came off a really interesting score. I'm super excited, and I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to get right into it. So, Nathan, the floor is yours.
Right. What's going on, everybody? I'm Nathan. I use he, him pronouns, and I'll be the narrator for this amazing group. We're going to go around and say who we are, who we're playing, where we find ourselves. We're actually now going to downtime. So to go over what happened last score, our plucky group actually found out that Eyes, played by Duval's character, his son was taken by the Wraiths. They wanted to exchange his son Joseph for the deed to the tract that they swindled from Vryn just a few short weeks ago. Little did they know that Vryn had actually sold out Eyes' son Joseph and Darlene to the Wraiths in exchange for what he thought was going to be his track back. Our group came and met the one half of the Wraiths there, the side that steals and plunders and treasures. The other side of the Wraiths usually does information, stuff like that, so they weren't around much. The Wraiths had hidden some goons and thugs around, but our group basically, through arcane devices, through sheer brutality, through some amazing callbacks and flashbacks, and through Eyes putting himself on the line between his son and someone else, were able to rescue young Joseph, deal a crippling blow to the Wraiths, and arrive unscathed. Not the least of which was letting the hounds from the track loose in their ghost hunting madness on some of these thugs that the Wraiths brought. So, as the sunset, as the lights were fading, the bluecoats come streaming in, as well as the spirit wardens, as people have died, and our group, the door slowly shuts, the latch slowly shuts down on the top of this elevated statue, I guess, area there in Six Towers. So who do we go to next? I guess I would say probably maybe a day has passed, maybe not much more than that. Probably the next day you sleep in, you're hanging out, you're at your own individual places wherever you reside. Who's first? Where do we find first?
Intros first?
Yep, let's do intros as well as this. So who would like to go introduce themselves and their character first?
I can introduce myself first,
okay,
if we want to go that way.
Yep.
I guess I'll just say that I'm Saevrick,
yep,
or Josh, whichever you want to call me. Use he, him pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Preacher, Elias Darman, who's the group's whisperer. Gosh, and after all this chaos, I can imagine Elias is probably back in that same fucking basement place with that notebook from Ezekiah, and is just devouring it again as best he can. And basically because and a large part of this is because of Joseph being taken from them. There's a sense of weakness almost that a lot that Elias would feel from that, because someone close in the syndicate had been taken so easily from us. And I'll pass it on to the next person.
Okay. Duval, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. Hey, everybody. Jacob here. Duval King Jacob on the internet. And I play Jason the Eyes, or not the Eyes, Jason Eyes, the Tingwanu. He is the group's slide, and dreams do come true. He's got his son back. But at what cost? What cost, indeed? He's going to have to make some really difficult choices here pretty soon. Can't wait.
All right. Shauna?
Hey, I'm Shauna, playing first. She, her, and I'm playing Miss Corbin, the team Spider, also she, her, who is delighted by the fact that we made such a big statement with someone messing with our crew.
All right. And Hannah?
I'm Hannah. I'm playing Miss Fritter. We both use she, her pronouns. And today we will find Miss Fritter baking in her apartment.
All right. How apt. So we're going to go through a few of our mechanics for downtime, and then we'll jump right into the scenes, which I'm sure both the players and the watchers are excited about. Man, no lie, I've been off for 2 days from work, and again, I told my players earlier, I turned off my brain to play video games and be just nothing for 2 days, and I can't get it. I can't make the words happen. So I apologize tonight. So we'll get through it. All right. So first XP, we've done each of our players has gotten XP, and they'll use that to either put more dots in their attribute, or they'll get another playbook advance and get another special power. The first thing we're going to need to go through is for payoff. This score did not have a payoff. There was not someone paying for this, but we do have 2 different ways of getting money, because you all have weaseled me into giving you things that you probably should not have, but that's okay. The first is the track. So I need someone to roll me a d6 for how good the track has done this week. Anybody?
I'll roll it.
All right. I'll also need another d6. Okay, what do we got?
I rolled a 6.
Of course. All right, so that's 6 that you have so far. And then the other d6.
I got it. Oh, never mind.
Also
Damn.
a 6.
I think those are disallowed. Because
No more 6s for the rest of the night.
because
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
roll D5s from now on.
or yeah, okay. So that'll be the last of the 6s, and Hannah will no longer be rolling anything for the night. Actually,
I
hope
just
that-
called you a good bean in chat and everything, and you banned me from playing the damn game.
All right. So that means you're gonna get 12 coin to split between the 4 of you. However you want to. Remember that you can only have up to 4 coin on you. Is it 4 coins? So you can either put the rest in your stash, which is basically like the bank, or we can put it into the crew vault or coin. You all have a vault, so you can keep up to 8 coin in your vault, and that's basically just petty money or whatever the crew needs or whatever you all decide to use it for. Just another placeholder. It's basically so you're not walking around with thousands of dollars in cash on you. But I mean, if you want to do that, hey, I got no problem with that either. Lots of consequences with cash.
I'll actually abstain my portion.
You'll
I can-
abstain your portion? Do you want us to put it in the vault?
No, split it up between you 3.
I can only hold 1 more coin, so the rest of it, whatever I would have, would go in the vault regardless. So
Oh yeah.
Okay. So everyone, make sure that you fill that up. Anything that goes into the crew vault, just let me know. We can add that in. I would say that was a magnanimous action. That I can't believe Eyes would do that. But those just a few sessions ago, Eyes has 5 more coins than everybody else because that's what Eyes does. So
I'm taking
He's
1
okay.
for my person, for me, 1 person
Okay.
for my person. So that's 11 now.
okay. Ms. Corbin and Fritter, do you take any personally? Can you take any personally?
Yes.
All right. So how many is that left over? Please.
That is 1 left over.
Okay. And then Ms. Fritter, how many do you have all 4 of your slot your
I'm
Coin.
going to pay myself back from when I originally paid out for the track.
Okay, that's fine. And how much was
So,
that?
I had paid 4 coin up front for
Okay,
the track.
that's fine.
So I think this just balances me
Yep.
out.
All right. So is any coin going into the crew vault?
Should be what, 6, I believe. it goes
6?
in the vault?
Yeah.
Sounds right. Okay. All right, so that's the payoff. The first one, so I gave you're going to roll 2d6s. The first is for the track. What's the second one for? We rolled 2 last time.
Oh, it's because I took papers and and stuff from the stash.
There you go. Okay, I couldn't remember what for. Okay, again, brain, not good. All right,
worries.
it's all good. Okay, so each one of you make sure that you mark out 6 coin in your crew mode. If anyone uses that, we'll make sure to mark it off everyone's, that just so we're all on the same page. All right, so that's 1. Heat. Ooh, this could get bad. So heat.
Oh, hell.
Heat in Blaze in the Dark is what everyone sees, the things that happen. Is you want to go quietly, you want to go under the radar, but sometimes you just need to make a big damn statement. And I believe this is one of the nights. So right now, just to remind everyone at home, our criminal enterprise gang has 1 wanted level, which means that if the Bluecoats had a good reason, they'd probably bring them in. They're not looking for them, but if the Bluecoats had a good reason, maybe they bring them in, question them a little bit, or maybe you could get paid off. So not a big deal. It's like having a misdemeanor or something. But looks like that's going to go up. So what would we call this operation? Again, 0 heat is smooth, quiet, low exposure. I don't think that's it. 2 heat is contained, standard exposure. 4 heat is loud and chaotic, high exposure. 6 heat is wild, devastating exposure.
Not that one.
No, I have a thought. I think it's going to be 4.
I think it's not. We didn't destroy anything.
Right. I think it's more loud and chaotic. You had dogs, you had shots, you had other people coming in, but it did not destroy like a neighborhood, or you didn't summon a demon or
just a
anything
few
like
bodies left behind.
Well, we'll
killed
talk
a lot
about
of people.
That's
Kind of did summon a demon. But,
all right. Well, yeah, a little bit. All right. So we're gonna go with 4 standard, and then we're gonna add 1 heat for high profile or well connected target. That's a yes. You all killed Slade.
Killed a lot of people.
Yeah, so that yeah, okay. And then plus 1 heat if the situation happened on hostile turf. This was 6 towers. It's not hostile turf, but it's not y'all's turf. And then plus 1 heat if you're at war, which you were. No, you were not. You were not at the time. You actually killed him before you actually triggered war.
We escalated real fast.
Yeah. And
What
then
war are you talking about?
well, there's so many going on right now. It was the shortest war in the history of Duskwall because the race didn't quite know it was a war, and the Ash Syndicate knew it was a war, and it was over before the race even thought.
Damn right.
Plus 2 heat if killing is involved.
Damn it. Yep.
yeah.
So
God.
we're looking at 7.
Oh boy, that's awesome.
3.
So
4.
you have a total of what is it? 9? 1, 2,
Oh, we are
3, 4,
at the
5,
thing.
6, 7. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9.
We haven't gone over.
I do that. You have to go.
Oh.
Actually, no. It's if you fill it up. So if you fill up anything else.
That's about right. That seems about right.
So now we trigger wanted level 2, and you clear out all your heat.
We did get the spirit wardens involved with
Yep.
a lot of bodies and spirit dogs. Someone had to say something.
I'm sorry, okay? It just,
No, we need them.
There
It
is
was good. It
absolutely
was
nothing to be
scary as
sorry
shit.
about.
It was scary as shit.
I'm not
So
really
like,
sorry. It was pretty epic.
it was super scary.
Beautiful.
I think twice.
So let's talk a wanted level real quick.
Okay.
The only way to reduce your wanted level is through incarceration. When one of your crew members or contracts or someone framed is done, then your wanted level is reduced by 1, or you can clear your heat. Incarceration may result from investigation or arrest by Bluecoats or because someone turns themselves in. Basically, on a wanted level 2, it's several months in prison.
Jesus.
How that's going to play in our game, again, that's how the rules state. How it's going to play in our game is if, as a consequence, the Bluecoats are involved, or if you all involve them in some way, then we'll roll to see if they take you all in. Because this is like this is not a major thing. This would be a minor, a bigger misdemeanor than like a parking ticket, but something that's like, all right, I'll take them in if I have to. So this is still not a thing where they're going to get in your way or try to come after you wholeheartedly. But if they happen to be there, they're certainly going to ask some very tough questions. All right. So that's heat. Entanglements. After the payoff, roll die equal to your wanted level and read the results according to your heat. So it's going to be 2 die, because you have 2 now. 2 lovely little Wanted levels a 6 and a 5. 4, 5 is rivals or unquiet dead. 6 is cooperation. I think we're gonna go with. I think we're gonna go with rivals. A neutral faction throws its weight around. They threaten you, a friend or contract, or one of your vice purveyors. Forfeit 1 rep or 1 coin per tier of the rival, or stand up to them and lose 1 status with them. I will think about this, and we'll bring this into the next score. If you all look at the list of factions and see that there's one you like, then feel free to say something, and we'll make that one. But if I don't hear specifically saying, "Hey, I want this one," I'll figure out one, and we'll have them kind of butt in a little bit. Sounds good. Maybe they had, I would imagine they had dealings with the race that are now on hold or have been put to bed altogether because most of the race has been put to bed. So they're not going to be happy about some of these things. So, all right. All right, so that's entanglements. Let's also, while I'm thinking about it real quick, let us go through and under crew mode, under faction mode on your sheet, let's update where we are with all the factions.
-10 for the race.
The race. So part of me think again, are you at war with them, or did you basically end the war before you started? I believe they're going to be a special case. So I think we're going to leave it at -2.
Okay.
But I want to mark them down. I think they go down a tier. They go down to tier 1, which makes them smaller, basically. So if you'll just erase one of the ones, they go down to tier 1 weak, because you reduce them by half their number already. And then we'll talk about how they come back, or if they do, maybe they just stay low like that. Can anyone think of anyone else between Underworld, institutions, labor and trade, citizenry, the fringe? Did you all have an effect on anyone else?
We had maybe possibly a positive for the Leviathan hunters.
Yes, I forgot about that. So what did Miss Corbin do? If you'll remind us what Miss Corbin did to involve the Leviathan hunters.
She paid them and tipped them off where the wraiths were.
Mm-hmm. So in payback for the wraiths stealing their captain's book, Miss Corbin tipped them off and then paid them to come and be muscle for hire on this score. So I think that moves them up to a +1 for Leviathan hunters, because word gets around. You pay people back even when they're not owed, and you take care of people. I think that's a good call.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyone else see anything? I want to say maybe the citizens of 6 Towers. So if we remember correctly, the citizens of 6 Towers came out and saw that the wraiths were trying to use their territory, did not like that, and maybe appreciated your way of handling things and kind of taking care of it all, so that the wraiths will not be back there. So that's going to be a +1 with the 6 Towers citizenry. I think that's easily recognizable. Anything else? Okay. All right. So now we start the fun part of the evening. Now is when we start doing our actual downtime actions, where my lovely players chat and conspiratorize behind my back to each other about who wants to talk to who and what all fun is going to be had, and I get to sit here and watch just like everyone else. Who's the first person that we see as a downtime action, and where is your character? I guess let's go in reverse order of how we did introductions. Hannah, were you last? Or was Shauna?
I don't remember.
I think so.
Hannah was last.
I think Hannah was last. Okay, so
Yep.
Miss Fritter is cooking. She's baking or cooking, or what is she cooking?
She's baking because she anticipates having a special guest this afternoon. Earlier in the morning, she had sent one of her runners off with an invitation for Lys's last known paramour.
Lys's last known paramour.
Yes. who's
Her
also
face,
one of
though.
Miss Fritter's children. So she has summoned him back to her apartment.
And what is this person's name?
I don't know. I keep going back between like Ricky Tricks and like I don't know. Ricky Tricks just sends out of my mind. We're just gonna call him Ricky.
Call him Ricky or call him Tricks?
I don't know. We're gonna. She's probably just gonna call him like Richard and
Okay. All
really
right.
piss him off. But
all right. So Ricky is a part of the Crows, yes or no?
I was gonna leave that up to you and how you wanted to do this, because if you didn't want him to be active with the Crows, that's totally fine with me.
I think he's no longer active. I think he was active, but
fine.
is no longer active. That way he still has an in with them and some time, but he's actually maybe Ricky. I think Ricky didn't have the stomach for how things turned out. Maybe Lissa and Ricky were together when she was second in command to Rorik, and now that she's ascended to the high place, Ricky's been pushed aside as she pushes toward the leadership, and Ricky just didn't like how things were going. I think Ricky couldn't handle the fact that she had gotten that she was in control now, that she's taking things the way she wants them. She's doing what she wants to do. And Ricky thought they should have gone another way. So he kind of bowed out of the Crows altogether. So I'm going to say Ricky is dressed in clothes that are way too fine for him, probably even bright and flashy. Wants to be seen. A late 20s, good-looking young man who has looks like he is above the muck and the mire, but is absolutely 100% not, and is still squeaking in his new shoes that probably Alyssa's money purchased. So he accepts your invitation, and eventually, basically, your runners are able to tell you that he's walking his way up to your stairs right now. What does he find as he knocks on the door?
He is going to find the smells of the food that comforted him as a child, the sweets and the cakes that she typically liked to bake. But Miss Fritter will happily greet him and welcome him back into her home, offering him tea or coffee and to take a seat and to try anything he wishes.
So I think Ricky comes in, tries to be formal, tries to be older. He tries to appear older. Miss Fritter, I received a summons from, and he kind of stops and smells the sweets. And is that sweetbread?
It is. And she's going to like reach up and just kind of like kind of work a smudge off of his skin. Doesn't have to really be there, but she's going to do it to humble the kid a bit.
Yeah, he absolutely is like, did I,
just a little bit. It's fine. Yes, absolutely. I have sweetbreads and I've got a variety of small cakes, and please feel free, come on in. And I have a kettle on as well if you'd like something to drink.
Well, I shan't stay long. I have some very important matters that I'm partaking in, business meetings, as you understand. But you've gone through all this trouble. I can stay for a bite.
Sure, absolutely. I don't intend for you to stay all afternoon. I know
that's
you're
what
a busy man.
His words say. His eyes say he wants the sweets and the coffee and everything like that really bad. So he kind of walks in and maybe walks into the kitchen behind you and is saying, "How have you been? I haven't seen you in quite some time."
It's been a minute since you've been back on the block, but I just wanted to reach out to you. It feels like things have really changed, and you were always one of my favorites, and I wanted to see how life turned out for you.
Well, life is very good. I have many business propositions right now. As you know, I was with the with the Crows for some time, but have decided to go out on my own. Decided to venture out and make something of myself.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of you. Tell me, take a seat, drink, eat.
Yeah. I think he absolutely sits down and starts like shoveling in the sweets. The sweets.
Fantastic. Tell me, what kind of business are you in? Are you in finance or?
No, it's I think it's imports. Imports, yes.
Imports.
Yes, lots of different products that want to move in. Leviathan hunters are trying to come in, and we're going to get the product to them. And he tries to use words, probably business words that I don't have, that he probably doesn't have either. Doesn't quite use them correctly. You know, the import and the export. You got to buy low, sell high. It's a whole thing. It's very tiring. Very
Are
tiring.
your fiduciary assets on par with like the current economy levels? Have they suffered with the change in value of the coin?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Is it?
That's okay.
Is it yes? Maybe. I have someone
I'm
for
very
that.
happy for you. I'm very proud of you. You sweet thing. I'm just so excited. Now, can you tell me, how is that girl you were dating? Oh, what was her name? You know, the girl with the red hair. She was so flamboyant.
Lisa?
Oh, that's right. That's her name. How's she doing? Are you guys still together?
Sadly, we're not.
You might need to roll.
Do what?
You might need to roll for him, whether or not he's suffering from any of the poison that he's ingesting at a rapid pace.
I love you, Anna. You're amazing.
As a GM, I'll take a drink real quick.
Ding for
All right. What are we doing to this poor soul?
Well, we're killing him, but we're gonna just. I mean, he may not. He's probably not going to get violently ill yet because he's just started. But he is definitely going to start to feel. Hold on, I had looked up the effects of ingesting rat poison and what it does to you over time. But let's just say he starts to feel a little woozy. He needs to take a drink.
Yeah, he takes a big gulp, and you see he gets kind of he's getting a little teary-eyed at just thinking about Lissa, and then he's like, I must have.
Are you okay?
I must have eaten something early. It could not be this food. I partook of a meal.
You're not allergic to nuts, are you? I think I used a nut butter and something.
No,
and
I don't think so. I don't.
Let me get you some more tea.
That'd be great. Yep. And then I want you to roll.
What would you like me to roll?
Let's see.
Happy to.
I don't think it's. I don't. Would it be study or survey? Because you're studying a recipe to make sure you do it right. Like I could. What?
A poison?
Oh, well, I don't know.
That's like something.
Sorry, I've never been in a downtime action and had someone poison my NPC as I'm trying to get all emotional and cry about something. My bad. All right. So
this is why I said I felt like I need to talk to you before every game because I just don't know.
You didn't talk to me, but it's okay. We're making it happen. You know what? I don't care. You want to reckon? Okay, I tell you what. This is how a wreck would go. This because we'll do the consequences based on what you roll. If you wreck and if you fail, he's going to get violently ill right here. If there is it's of a 4 to 5, you'll get what you want out of this, but there's still going to be he's going to get ill, and people are going to see him get ill amongst all this, like amongst your apartment or right outside. If you succeed, then you can have the poison go into effect whenever you want it to. Does that sound okay?
Down.
All right. This is controlled.
Cancel.
Controlled in standard effect.
Controlled. Standard.
I was going to bare my soul.
555. How does that work?
Okay. So he eats so much of this bread before you can even kind of stop him. He's going to eat more than what you think. And his constitution, because he is not eating and drinking very well now, he doesn't have anything else in his system, and it's going to hit him like alcohol does to someone with an empty stomach. So as he leaves here, he will be violently ill.
I can just push him in the garbage chute on the way down the hall, so
That's
it's totally fine.
Whatever you want to do. All right.
Yes, tell me about Lissa. Here, let me as I make you some more tea.
Yeah.
And
we parted ways. Amicably. No, I'm not gonna lie. Freddie was bad. It was real bad.
no.
Yeah, she killed Rorik. Like that's, that. Come on, you know everything. She, man, it was real bad. She got really she got really demanding, and I couldn't stand to be around her anymore. Like I couldn't. She was head of what she always wanted, which is head of the crows, and basically is running them, and all her time is going to them, and she didn't have any time for me anymore, and so she threw me out. Yep, she threw me out, and so I'm now out from her, and I'm out from the crows, and I'm kind of out from everyone.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh goodness. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. You got any tea? This tastes a little funny.
How about some whiskey? You want some whiskey?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah, let me get you some whiskey.
Okay.
She goes and pours out some very nice, very amber-colored, smooth whiskey. He's probably not going to know the difference, but that's okay. It's his last drink. Pours him a nice big glass, hands it on over to him. Oh, I feel so sorry. I'm so sorry for the way she treated you and for what's happened. Is there anything I can do? Would it help in some way if I went and talked to her? Or is there something I could do maybe with my weight with the crows?
She really hates you. She really hates you. She really hates you. I mean, I can't even explain. She would kill me just for knowing I came here. So I'm kind of glad she doesn't, because, I like living. I have so much to live for in my young age, and just had a really rough spot here lately. I got, basically thrown out, and then lost all my people, and I'm destitute. I spent my last money on these clothes to try to make it, to do something. So it's been really bad. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, his clothes are pretty bad too, but I can appreciate that.
What? Sorry, I'm sorry. What? I was coughing. Did I hear you say something?
Your clothes look fantastic.
Okay,
I'm just so impressed. They're so flamboyant. The colors look nice. Yep. They really bring out your eyes.
I mean, it didn't really go together, but I think I still pull it off pretty well. I think
polka dot and plaid always goes together, my son.
Yep. I knew it.
Well, I hate that. If I could do something, if I could intervene on your behalf, I would. But it sounds like I'd probably just make the situation worse.
Yeah, she basically said she's going to take care of the lamp blacks, and then she's coming for you.
Oh.
She wants to go basically just for you, but the other crows they aren't having it. She's not been there long enough to really get good control of them yet. So some of the older crows that were kind of still with Rorik, and some of your the kids that you used to have, they're unsure about her still. So she's gonna have to go after the lamp blacks first, and then when that's cleaned up, she's coming after you.
Goodness. Well, I thank you so much for telling me about that. That's so. I know that you're risking so much, and I'm so grateful that you took the time to come meet with me and talk to me. And I wish there was more I could do to help you. If you need to lay down, though, I know you have meetings to go to. If you need to lay down on your way out, I have an apartment down the hall that my tenant recently took a vacation. Sorry, Nate, you have to keep it together. You can feel free to just take a quick snooze in my neighbor's apartment, or my tenant's apartment. It's recently vacant.
That'd be great. I haven't slept in a bed in a couple weeks now, and I've been out on the street. Yeah, so a bed would be really nice.
Please, dear. And she'll just help him up and escort him down the hall.
Monster.
And She's not a monster.
Are we the
And-
baddies? So this is, did everyone just look in the mirror and go, are we the baddies? All right, so mechanically, what do you want to happen on
Why are
this?
you
Anything
all
else?
nodding?
Anything else?
No, she's just gonna go let him die in the apartment.
So this also basically will give you 1 free point of information on the wraiths. On
On the crows?
the crows whenever
Okay.
you want it.
Cool.
So if you need to know something about them, we'll basically flashback, say he told you. Poor sap. Okay. All right. I gotta
I
get
just
out
had
of
to
that.
kick off our night with like a bang, like brawl.
Sure. Okay. All right. So that's where we find Miss Fritter. That's your first downtime action. Thank you, Miss Corbin. Where are you right now?
She would be paying a visit to the same brothel that the information from the our first heist was taken from.
Okay.
It's a night market.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I'm going to visit the proprietor.
Okay. Do we have a name for that proprietor already, or are we making one up? I don't believe we have a name.
We
for
don't
that.
have one.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I gotta get to my name sheet. All right, so this is going to be their name is, they go by Gate. Gate is the proprietor of the brothel name, the New Horizon. New Horizon. The New Horizon is an upscale entertainment house in Night Market, providing different forms of entertainment of all shapes and varieties, and entertainment as far as drinking, gambling, company, whatever their clients request. They are also a establishment that goes off of, you cannot just walk in and procure their services. You have to have a membership. They are vetted and they go through a process, and Gate is very, very strict about that. Is Gate he, she, they, what kind of pronouns would you like to use for Gate?
Say she.
She, okay. So you come in, and Gate is actually nicknamed that because she is the first person you see as you walk into the New Horizon. And she stands short, petite, and wide smile on her face. And she greets you. Do you know Gate? Does Miss Corbin know Gate?
If she's local, probably.
Okay. I would say yes.
Yes.
So Gate kind of is standing up on a podium and is kind of taking names as the two guards let you through, saying you have business with Gate. She stands on the podium and kind of doesn't even look up. She's like, yes, your appointment time?
Oh, I'm here. Not here for pleasure, for business.
And Gate looks up. Miss Corbin, how do you do?
Very well. You?
I could not be better. I think she steps down off the podium and around, showing how slight of stature she actually is. She has black hair cut bob style short, very, very nice clothes, a little on the darker side as far as blues and blacks to blend in with the kind of scenery around. You're in you're in the first floor. It's quiet. Melodramatic music is playing in the background. There are people walking around handing out hors d'oeuvres, handing out alcohol or coffee or tea, whatever people would need. It seems to be just a quiet gathering place at this level. You know that there are multiple levels to the New Horizon, and that's where the actual entertainment takes place. Gate looks at you and says, "Did we have an appointment?" Yes.
I have a proposition for you.
Sounds like we have an appointment. Care to step over here? And I think she has a little side table that's kind of out of the way a little bit.
All right.
Something to drink? Yes? No?
Sure.
Okay. Alcohol or something a little on the lighter side? It is early, but hey.
I'll have some tea.
Okay. Tea it is. You see she has a little bell. She rings a little bell, and someone comes over and gets basically the water going for tea. And before long, you have tea sitting in front of you. She jumps up on the chair. I imagine there's like higher top tables. She kind of jumps up into the seat, crosses her legs, and puts her hands over across and leans in and says, a proposition from Miss Corbin. That is something I would like to hear about.
How are things for the New Horizon?
Well, quite honestly, they have not been as good since we had our little run-in with the Wraiths. It scared off some of our higher clientele that were worried that we could no longer be trusted with their life and livelihood.
Ah, yes. Well, that's partially what I came here for. The Wraiths are no longer probably have seen to it. That's unfortunate, though, about the state of New Horizon. Although, from my end, we have had a little bit of a good fortune. You've heard about the recent acquisitions?
I have, and I was so happy that it went to someone local and someone who is in what it seems like for the actual, for the night market community and for all of us, and not just for themselves. I never liked Ren. I met with him on several occasions. He wanted to procure our services, but he had an oily feel. I did not like him.
Well, that's good, because that man had many hands and many pockets and left many with very little money.
That's not shocking. Not shocking at all. But you said a proposition.
Yes. This is partially about the dreadful business with the Wraiths. It's impressive how you're able to get that book from the Leviathan Hunters. I can have good standing. I can make sure that bygones are bygones with that, of course.
That would be wonderful. We held it on payment until payment was procured back, and luckily it was returned before the Wraiths could sell it. We were very happy with that.
That is good. What I am here for is, how would you like to work with us? Unofficial, of course. Quiet. But we are on an upswing in this district, and it'd be good to have some eyes on the ground. And with others that would threaten that.
Is this a protection?
No. This is information.
An information exchange? You look out for us, we provide you with information?
Exactly. Everyone's happy, everyone gets something. There's no one's holding each other over a fire.
And we both agree that we can break away at any time?
Anytime. And we can see fit that no one outside our circles tries to make a grab for anything around here, including this lovely place. Keep everything in night market. Don't let the nobles take what they want.
You see her look, again, Gate has built this place from probably a not very nice establishment and has made it what it is. So you can see her running the numbers in her mind and calculating, and goes, I don't see that as a problem. I feel like we can both benefit, and again, there's no with no contractual arrangements, no harm, no foul.
Of course. We have similar values, and I think we can work together.
I do believe so
quite
as well.
smoothly.
All right. So mechanically, what are you looking to get out of this?
I am looking to get spies.
Absolutely.
Acquire spies.
Okay. So what we'll say is, actually, I'm going to need you to roll. Let's see how much she can actually give, what they can actually give you. This would be the mechanical benefit. What attribute are you going to use?
Consort.
It's consort. Okay. So it's controlled as well. Controlled with standard effect.
Do I want to do this?
Come on.
You know what? I will also invest. I'll invest a little bit of coin.
Okay.
This as well.
So this is going to. Do you want to increase the effect or the die?
The effect.
Okay. So this goes up. Are you doing 1 coin?
1 coin, yes.
Okay. So it's going to go up to greater effect.
Okay.
Mark the coin off.
Yep. Let's do it. 5. That's all right.
But it's greater effect. Again, it's like it's like you got a 6, so it's like you got a true success. So, are you looking to use them mechanically? When are you looking to gain information from her?
I want it as soon as not now, but I have certain people I would like to look into at a certain point once I get there.
Okay. All right, then that's perfectly fine. We'll use that for them. And then if you want to call back and use them as a flashback to gain information, we can roll and use this basically as an information source.
Okay, yes.
All right, cool. I believe Eyes is next. I'm sorry.
I think Miss Corbin, before she leaves, glad we can do business. And if any of your customers are unruly or rough, let me know. I'll take care of them. Can't have that around here.
Yeah, she looks and says, "Thank you. I understand." All right, she gets down and goes back and basically takes her cup of tea over to the podium and reestablishes her domain amongst her people. All right, Eyes, where do we find Jason?
So, you find Jason, Joseph, and Darlene eventually, because he's asked her to meet at Joseph's favorite park.
Okay.
It's this rickety, old, decrepit, not well taken care of, but it has character. The rest is almost as welcoming as the rickety swing set that Jason is pushing Joseph on. And I imagine she, arrives because she hasn't seen him since, or seen Joseph since. It's been, I think you said a day or so.
Yeah, it's been a couple days, yeah.
Yeah, been a couple days. And he'll kind of welcome her over. Told you I'd get him back.
She runs over and hugs Joseph, as a parent would, and is crying a little bit. But when he asks, "Mommy, what's wrong?" "I'm okay," she, kind of wipes tears and just glad to see you. Just glad to see you, son. And she looks at you, and for the first time in a long time, there's no hatred, there's no anger, there's no pleading or anything else. It's just, thank you.
There's no need to thank me. It's actually, I think it's my fault. It's funny? I've done many things to get me here. Frankly. And he kind of like he's sort of, mommy and daddy have to chat a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to go check out the merry-go-round?
Joseph gets a big smile on his face. Yeah. Okay, there's some other kids over there. I'll go play.
Okay, we'll be over there in a minute.
Okay.
And I'm kind of like leaning on the swing set, keeping an eye on her. You know the most fucked up thing about this whole situation is I thought that I needed power and influence to find you, and then rip him from you the way that you ripped him from me. And the craziest thing about it is I didn't need anything. You know, my friend, nope, she would kill me. Nope. Coworker had that information the whole time. She was just waiting for me to ask. I don't say this to threaten you. I want to work this out. Whether that's romantically or not, I mean, what you did was super fucked up. And I don't think I deserved any of it. And I don't know if there's a way for us to mend fences from that perspective. But I do know one thing. All that I've become because of this, I don't need any of it. You say the word, we leave right now.
She looks at Joseph and looks back at you and says, you say it's your fault, but yet it's mine as well. If I hadn't been so focused on hurting you, if I hadn't been so focused on pushing you away and trying to, I don't know what I was trying to do. I hurt you. I wanted to hurt you so bad. I hurt myself and I hurt my son. And that's not something that any parent can forgive. This was not your fault. In the end, the one who's not at fault is him. She nods over and says, I would understand if you didn't want to work it out. But I ask this. He's been with me a long time. We're set up. We're together. I'm gladly share time with you and give you whatever time and space you want. And let you and him have time.
Like his kind of like eyes, like kind of turning to slits. Really? You're not concerned that I'm, by what I do for a living now, would put you in harm's way? Or him? I mean, we're in this situation because I thought that this is what I had to become to get him.
She kind of goes, in Duval, you either take or you give. And I'm not strong enough to take, but you are.
Wow. I came here, cards on the table, royal flush, waiting for us to just get in a car and leave. Interesting. You know the other crazy thing is I'm actually really fucking good at this.
I know. I hear.
Kind of just grins.
I'm proud of you for what it's worth. I know from my mouth it's not worth anything. But you always talked. You always talked, and I laughed and shook it off. And then when I pushed you to jump, damned if you didn't jump.
You know, I told my fellow syndicate members is that I'm not even a bad person. I'm just pretending to be.
I know.
You know that's because of both of you, right?
I know it's because of him. Whether it's because of me or not, that remains to be seen.
The wall goes up. There it is.
It's not a wall. If it's a wall, it's one I put up. It's one I hurt you with. It's not a non-committal. It's a I can't commit because I've hurt you. And she kind of shrugs her shoulders like just trying to be honest here, you know.
Yeah.
She says, what happens when you're forced to be the bad person that people think you are, but you don't want to be? What happens then?
I think I'm about to find out. I think I'm about to find out real soon.
Oh, for better or worse, I mean, Joseph's here for you. He needs you in his life. So I am here through him at this point.
Okay.
If something happens or if we end up talking, whatever it is, let that be down the road.
Sure. We only have the rest of forever.
We only have the rest of forever. I think she's slowly swinging in the swing almost beside you. And you both just kind of sitting there, maybe for the first time in years, it's just the two of you looking at your son, being proud and being, for a slight moment, happy. So mechanically, is this stress relief?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, his vice is pleasure. I what better?
Absolutely. All right, so go ahead and roll it up. Roll, again, indulge your vice. Let's see what your roll. What is your stress at?
5. I think it should be more than that. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that sounds about right.
Yeah.
But
okay.
again, you're going to roll multiple dice. You can take the die you want. I don't
Okay.
think you should. If you roll multiple die on a indulge vice, you should get to take the die you want. I not automatically have to take the highest. I don't like that rule. So
Got it. Okay.
go and roll it up.
All right.
6 and a 4. So I'm assuming you're going to take the 4.
I think I will.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be down to 1 stress. And anything else in that scene?
No. Eventually, I think, as you know, kind of the camera kind of zooms out, all three of them are kind of on the merry-go-round, kind of playing together, kind of all kind of swinging on it.
Yeah.
Hair blowing in the wind, like his hat kind of blows
Absolutely.
off for the first time.
I think that the hat actually lands on a little backpack that Darlene has packed of Joseph's stuff so that he can stay like a few days with you. And that's Joseph kind of runs over and grabs the backpack and grabs your hat and kind of runs back over, totters over toward you.
You want to wear it, buddy?
Absolutely. He puts on the hat, and of course it's way too big for him.
Of course.
All right, cool. Preacher. Our good buddy Preacher, our no stress, happy-go-lucky.
I'm highly stressed.
Nothing's ever going on. Where do we find Preacher?
Preacher is actually going to make his way to Ezekiah's old school.
Okay. I think as you walk out the door of the apartment downstairs from Fritter, you hear a thump up above you, like on the floor above you. And you're like, who knows? And you start making your way downstairs.
Just another missing neighbor.
It's just another neighbor on a vacation. All right.
My purpose is to go there, and I'm going to do some research on the Ghost in Six Towers. See if there's some way that I can contact them a little bit better, because my last efforts there were futile at best.
Yeah, there just wasn't much there. I remember you getting to go down into the special vault at Charter Hall, and there wasn't much there. But you got word that there's like an off the books place, or maybe it's even there is a meeting of groups that are called the Fringe. It's where new religions, new cults, new everything kind of come together and form. And there's a group of them meeting almost like you would like clubs on a campus. There's a bunch of them. You think, hey, maybe I'll take a shot here and see if there's someone around there.
Okay. Is this like on the campus of where Ezekiah went to? Okay.
Yes, it is on Charter Hall, in Charter Hall on the campus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Charter Hall is old. The streets are wide. There's students running around, faculty and staff kind of making their way ambling towards somewhere or the other. You can tell that no one's in a real hurry, and it doesn't seem a lot of business going on. But kids are in classes and running around. And then up ahead, you see that there's a group. Looks like kids are gathered all together around talking about basically like exchanging ghost stories, exchanging stories, trying to get people to understand what they want, or kind of informally, like a group session. You know what I'm saying? Like breakout session. Hey, let me tell you about what I'm doing. What do you tell you what you have going on? All different kinds of things going on.
Okay. So I need to approach one of these groups, you said.
Mhm.
One of these underground groups. Probably somebody who's a little bit more experienced, at least maybe even in Six Towers itself.
Okay.
Who's more in tune with the spirits there. Because maybe I'm just not looking in the right place. I'm not 100% sure. So.
Okay. All right. So what attribute are you going to roll to find this out?
Well, let's see. I am not trained well in anything. I guess I could go for... I wouldn't say I'm studying a person per se. Maybe surveying for this group.
Yep, could be. Yep.
Okay.
And you have the name.
I do have the name of Flint, the spirit trafficker, who might have some pull here. I don't know for sure.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, you start asking around and you start dropping Flint's name a little bit, and then are you actually asking for the group that you believe Joseph is a part of? I mean, Ezekiah is a part of.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Different thing. Poor kid.
Yeah.
Right?
The spirits of the damned. Are you dropping their name?
Yeah, absolutely. I need to find this information out as soon as possible.
Okay. So let's roll up survey. And then because you're going to use Flint's name, you get an extra die.
Okay. And let's roll them beautiful ones. 5.
5. Need that extra die. All right. Yeah, there's young man who is kind of walking around handing out pamphlets for whatever fringe group they're think about it as like spirit groups, but for garage bands in college. You know, everybody has one. Everybody was a part of one, that kind of thing. And he hands you out this flyer. He's like, hey, here, here's a flyer. Here's what we're trying to, you look a little old. Do you go to school here?
Oh, my youngest one here said some good things about it. I need some questions answered. So I thought, well, may I go all around his old stomping grounds, maybe hear some humiliating stories about him, be that kind of father.
Yeah, I dig it. So who's your kid?
Ezekiah. Darling.
Ezekiah. Doesn't ring a bell. Did he have like a group, or was he in with anybody?
I'm not entirely sure, I'll be honest with you. I don't do anything from this notebook that I've been reading with him. I don't know if it's got any information at all.
Do you drop the name Spirits of the Dam?
Absolutely will, yeah.
Okay. When you kind of mention that, or kind of his face goes like stark white. He's like, don't say that name. Don't. They got kicked out of here. They were actually okay. And he kind of steps towards you a little bit, non-threatening, of course, and puts his papers down and says, yeah, so this is all just kind of like talk and hanging out, ways to meet other people. You're trying to find people who are like-minded, but they were something different altogether. Like they were for real, really involved in like what they're focused on. And so they all got kicked off campus, like the whole group got kicked off campus. And I heard they were shacked up in one of the big towers, but one of the big towers over there in Six Towers, like one of the old nobles' houses or something. Like they were really scary. Like they were actually talking about summoning. they just kept calling her. I don't get it. I don't know. It started off as like, yeah, we'll all summon her, and then they like started like cutting their hands, and it got a little freaky, like real freaky. Spirit wardens got called, and there was some stuff that happened, and they all get kicked out of campus. So like nobody talks about that, man.
Let's say that preacher's like friendly demeanor sort of like instantly evaporates to show that he's being completely serious at this
Yeah.
point. Um, $6. Yeah. One of the old mansions, you said, noble houses.
Yeah, the Barthok place, I think. I think that's
place.
what I heard. Like some of them came back to get their stuff, and they were like, "If you want to meet us, we'll be at the Barthok place." I don't know where it is, but they scared me. Like they really scared me.
Did they all stay in the same dormitory?
Well, they didn't at first. Like um, they didn't at first, but then they kind of started hanging out more and more, and they all like started all being around each other all the time. And it got really weird, like really weird, man, really weird.
Would you be able to show me where they hung out at? On campus?
Ah, yeah. So he takes you and kind of skirts around. He almost doesn't want to be seen with you because you're like an old guy and he's like a young hip guy. I hear that. Anyway, as a young hip guy. So anyway, he moves forward, and so he ends up taking you to part of the campus that is pretty quiet and has like, I want to say it was probably a garden at one time. It still has petrified trees and glowing moss and big open spaces where people can hang out. And he takes you over to where this little patch of scrub grass used to be that's now been well trodden. And it was like they would like all hang out over here like a lot. That's why nobody hangs out over here anymore. Like I get trouble just for even being here.
You're a scared young man, and you're starting to annoy me with all your little quirks and fears. Are you going to be something in your life here at this particular college? Or are you just going to run around scared with a piss trail running down your leg the entire time?
Trying to think how he would take that. He goes, dude, like you asked me questions. I didn't have to show you this. Right?
You ever seen a demon, boy?
No.
Would
I
you
don't
like to see one?
No, I don't want to see a demon. Are you a demon? And he kind of is like, are you a demon?
Boo.
All right, dude. Listen. I know I could take you. He kind of limbers his shoulders up, but I got that bad shoulder, so I'm gonna let you go this time, and I'm not gonna punch you in the mouth.
Oh, son, I'd love to see you try. And let me tell you something else before you go scampering off telling all your little friends about this little encounter. Remember, the Ash Syndicate is going to be watching you and your friends and your family. One word gets out, you're all fucking dead. Do you understand me?
He goes, his face was white earlier at the mention of the damned. Spirits of them. He actually drops his pamphlets and like takes a big step back and then just turns and walks away as briskly as possible.
So we're in front of like this petrified tree that these kids were all gathering in front of, correct?
Absolutely.
So I will lean down and take one of these pamphlets and roll it up.
Okay.
And I'm going to take the stuffed goat, which is now soaked with Leviathan oil.
Okay.
And I'm going to light it on fire and put it at the base of the tree to set it all ablaze. Just to sort of purge this entire area of their scent and to let go of this piece of my son, because I know what's coming ahead in the future, that I can't have any anchor to it.
So preacher walks away, is walking back toward to get out of Charter Hall with that tree ablaze in the background. And you would swear, is that laughter? Is that a deep, throaty woman's laughter that you hear? No, maybe not. Surely not. But you're not quite sure. All right. So was this gather information?
It was,
on your?
yes.
Okay. So how many boxes did you have left?
Well, I talked to you earlier, and I think
Yep.
we determined it was a 4.
The 4.
but
Yeah, it was a 4 o'clock, and I think you had two pieces of the pie from earlier.
I don't
Yes?
remember.
I'm
I'll
pretty
be
sure you
honest.
did because you got halfway there last time.
Okay.
It just wasn't quite enough.
Okay.
All right, and then the go ahead and I want to say that the 5 that you got earlier is going to more than do it. So 5 would get you 2 more pieces, which would get you basically all the information I gave you.
Right.
That the Barthok place, Barthok. Sorry, Barthok Place. Old nobles that live in the north part of Six Towers. They were pretty weird. That they had an actual like medieval castle that was theirs at one point in time. That was their claim to fame, and they stayed there a long time even after. But in the last couple decades, it has fallen behind, and they actually moved. You've heard that the family moved somewhere else, and so they left it empty like a lot of Six Towers. But they still laid claim to it and still paid the spirit wardens or the bluecoats every once in a while to go in and get out all the rabble and clean it out for them, just in case they ever wanted to come back. There's always kind of the talk they're going to come back to Dustfall, but they have not. Okay, you good?
I would say probably the last thing he would probably do, and I know I'm hearing Satara. Like, almost guaranteed that I'm hearing Satara at this point. The last thing that preacher has of Ezekiah's that's of any importance whatsoever at this point is the notebook. So he's going to take a long look at it, brush his fingers over the cover of the tome. So we'll fit this figured out one way or another. Take one last breath, and he's going to toss that into the fire as well.
Okay. With that, you confirm that laughter is there. And you thought it may be in your head, but as it does, as you see the flames start to catch fire on the pages, you see in the smoke her name spelled out, Satara. With that deep, throaty laughter, just that ha 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 ha.
Coming for you next.
All right. Back around. Back to Miss Fritter. What do we find Miss Fritter doing now?
Do we want to take like a slight break for a couple minutes and then come back?
Yeah. Do you want to take an actual break?
Sure. Just a small break. It doesn't have to be a long break.
Okay. Totally cool with that.
We can do that.
Josh, is that cool with you?
Yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
okay with that?
I'm okay with it. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Just
All right.
Just like a 5 minute or something.
Okay.
Let me
So
check.
we'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Hold on
Yep.
1 second.
Don't go nowhere.
are back. So,
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for hanging in there with us. I just had to take care of something real quick. So we're going to start our second round of downtime actions with Miss Fritter. And where do we find Miss Fritter now?
So now Miss Fritter has cleaned up the mess at her apartment and has decided to go for a quiet stroll. She sent a couple of runners out earlier and is heading to a bar in Duskwall. Doesn't happen to, is probably not one of our regular haunts.
Okay.
It's definitely probably in like neutral crow territory.
So the Leaky Bucket is known to be neutral. It's actually north. It's where you met Bazo Baz last time.
Oh, my good friend Basil
Yep,
Baz.
it is absolutely 100% neutral and is an agreed upon between the Crows, the Lamp Blacks, and the Red Sashes, all that is neutral ground and is kind of sacred.
And we'll meet at the Leaky Bucket.
I'd say 100% as you are walking by the Crows where the Crows tower, your braid still sits there in a small pile. And there is a small red braid that's tied up that sits beside it as well that you know is Lissa's hair. And this will stay there until you all are resolved, until your differences have been resolved, we'll say. So you probably kindly step around it, knowing what that means. Maybe puts a little smile on your face to see that she still holds to the old ways. And the Leaky Bucket awaits with Old Man behind the bar. And Old Man sees you and kind of nods without saying anything and brings you over a cup of whatever you normally would have. Are you meeting someone there? Are you waiting for someone to arrive? What's happening?
Well, I sent my runners out to effectively just kind of drop hints that I would be there with multiple generals of the Crows, or whatever they want to call their upper echelon.
Okay.
Specifically, these are kids or adults. They were kids that had grown up on my block and that I had known. People who would theoretically be less inclined to just outright murder me.
Yeah. And Ricky basically told you that there was some within the Crows that did not harbor Lissa's way and wanted to go after the Lamp Blacks. And so I think one of those in all black shows up young. Is it, we're going to say man, woman, non-binary? What would you like to choose?
I feel like Lissa probably doesn't have a lot of women around her. I don't think that she's secure enough to do that. So I bet she has a lot of men, especially men she can easily manipulate around her.
All right. A tall...
kind of dumb.
Yeah, actually, yes, tall guy, lifts some weights, does some workout, is used to being fists first, ask questions later. Kind of ducks his head. He has a clean shaven head, and kind of ducks his head inside and looks, and gets a big wide smile on his face. You know this young man. His name is Clinton. Clinton was one of your kids. At one point in time, you took after him, just like a bunch of orphans, and watched after him. But over time, the allure of money and power, or someone talking him into it, kind of moved him away from you all. And in the altercation with Lissa, he went with Lissa. He never had any ill will towards you. He just kind of went, she asked me, so I came, that kind of thing. So he ducks his head in, and he gives you a little wave, and then looks around to see if there's anyone else in, and then looks around behind him to see if there's anyone else around there, and kind of ducks his head in and comes in and sits down. And he waves two big meaty fingers at Old Man and carries over, two big flagons of ale, kind of sits down, and he doesn't even ask to sit down. I don't think he thinks about it. He just pulls up a chair and straddles it and sits down.
I'm going to take my knitting out of my bag and just kind of casually work it in my hands as I talk to him. Just say, Clinton, it's so nice to see you. How have you been?
Been pretty good. Lissa says I'm doing good, so that's good. And I've been good. I eating, drinking, and gaining some weight, putting some bulk on. That's good. So I've been good. Yeah.
That's fantastic. I'm so proud of you. You said Lissa was proud of you too. That's great. I'm so glad this has worked out for you.
Yeah, she said that with Rourke gone, that now some of us can be pushed forward. Like he was trying to keep us down.
Has that happened?
Lissa says it takes time.
Mm.
So no, but she told me it would. She's taking care of me, I think.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. That's what she should be doing. I just wanted to sort of see if you were okay. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to know what it's like to be in this kind of life. And I just wanted to check in with you, make sure someone's talked to you. Has she given you guys any any books or pamphlets or printouts about self-care and how to make sure that you have time for yourself and nurturing your soul?
I don't really know what that means.
Oh goodness.
Nurturing my soul. There's no
She's
self.
gonna go through her bag, and it's gonna be like the self-care for dummies guide.
Yeah.
Like the most basic, like take a bath, light a candle, like that kind of thing. And she's gonna push it over and be like, I know how we are at this time, and that's fine, but I care about you. I have known you since you were for knee high to a grasshopper, and I just want you to be okay at the end of the day. And if you get disappointed or if things don't work out the way you were anticipating, that's okay too. You've got to find a way through it. So here, this is just some general information on how to make sure that you take care of yourself throughout this process.
Yeah, he's absolutely flipping through it. He's like, yeah, take a bath, take a walk, find a friend. Hold on. You said during this time. What'd you mean?
As you develop, as you gain.
We already had that talk. Remember the development talk? We had that talk. Don't worry. I know all about the birds and the bees. I got that.
Remember. I know. We had to have it more than once.
Well, sometimes I needed to be, reminded.
Yeah. You were a very eager little boy. She's gonna Lord. Christ. She's gonna say as you gain in the ranks, I don't know where you're at right now in your marks and how many skills you've gained. But once you start adding bones to your list and you're acquiring bones or earning your bones, as they say, that can wear you down and leave a lot of angst and confusion on you.
Yeah,
that's all I'm trying to say.
I am pretty confused. I had a good life, and then Lissa said that you kicked us all out, and so we had to go find somewhere else to stay. And I was real sad for.
Hold on.
What?
My darling, hold on. Let's just reverse that for a quick second. Lissa said what exactly?
Lissa said you kicked us all out.
Oh, Peaches. Oh my goodness. Okay. I want to preface this with, I know this is a hard thing and it's complicated. I would let you guys, especially your group of friends, y'all are welcome on my block anytime you ever need. Even now, if you showed up and needed somewhere to stay, I would put you up in a heartbeat. I never kicked you out.
Yeah. Lissa said that you were angry at her because you wanted to do something, or you wanted her to do you wanted to hurt one of us, and she said no, and you're like, all right, then all of y'all leave. And me and the other, I think there's 6 or 7 of us still that were from that block, that she told us all that, and we were like, that didn't sound like Fritter, but But I mean, maybe, Lissa was telling us that's what it was. So
she's gonna put her knitting down.
Okay.
She's gonna reach across the table and she's gonna grab him by the hands and she's gonna hold his hands, like her weathered dishwasher hands that are soft from years of having washed all those dishes, are just gonna hold him, and she's just gonna look him dead in the eye and she'd be like, I'm so sorry she lied to you, and I'm so sorry for any grief or stress this may have caused you, but I swear on my husband's grave, I didn't do anything to make y'all leave. Lissa did that on her own, for her own ends. And I'm so, so sorry for anything that happened to you as a result of it. And she is seething with rage at this point in time.
I think we need an attribute roll to see how this goes from here.
What do I
Is
do
this?
for that?
It's not, I don't think it's sway, because you're not being deceitful.
Mm-mm,
It was
I'm not
Lissa
lying
being
to him at all.
Consort, even command is, you're almost like commanding him to see the truth. I could see that.
Yeah.
It could be survey, that you're surveying him and reading his emotions. I'm fine with that too. So what would you like to use?
I think command is most. She's trying to be. She's trying to change his opinion.
Yeah, you are using.
Events.
It actually says command obedience with force of personality. You're using your force of personality to make sure he knows the truth, and I think that works. All right.
Risky and standard.
Yeah, it's gonna be risky and standard. You do get an extra die because you're bringing someone else into this.
Okay.
And your heritage and basically your past.
I was also gonna push myself.
Okay. Yeah, go right ahead.
I'm gonna do that too. Oh shit! I dropped it. Dose. 6.
6.
Which I needed. So that's awesome.
He just looks at you for a minute, like as he's playing the past several years over in his head, like he's just stunned. His huge, gnarled, broken knuckled hands with calluses and scars on them. You feel the calluses that have built over years of holding weapons and pushing things and just working out, and he's just massively, his hands go limp, and then he slowly drags them back over toward himself and grips the end of the table and says, "She lied to us." And his hands go stark white as he grips the table and just with a huge, an amount of power that you don't even understand, or probably Fritter does understand, takes the edge of the table and just like snaps it down. Just, she lied all along.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You would take us back?
In a heartbeat.
But we've done things, Miss Fritter. He actually calls you ma'am, which is the first time he's called you ma'am probably since he left. Ma'am, we've done things. All of us have.
Clinton, we all do things, hon. We all are put in situations we have to survive, and that doesn't change anything. You were always a good one on my block. You were always good to the other kids, and I value that. And if you came back at any time, I'd welcome you back on my block.
You see, he actually has a tear, and it's not running out, but it's at the corner of his eye. He just kind of goes. Okay.
Take this info about taking care of yourself. I just want you to take care of yourself. I just want you to be okay. At the end of the day, I want all my boys to be okay. And that's all I want for you.
She wants to come after you. And he's telling you this as if he does, as you don't already know. He just says, she wants you gone. And we told her no. We told her we wouldn't do it. We told her that the Lampblacks, we need to go after them, and we're gonna go after them because that's what we have to do. But she said she wouldn't do anything to you, but I don't believe her.
Lisa and I have a lot that we need to talk about eventually, but I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and the risk that I'm sure you weighed in coming here and even in talking to me now and what you've told me. I appreciate you taking that time out of your day. And I'm so glad I got to see you.
He says, yes, ma'am. I'm glad we had this talk.
If you ever need anything, you find one of my kids and you send them back to me, or you can feel free to come around if you think you can. But you know you're always welcome on my block.
He shakes his big meaty head. He's, yes, ma'am. I'll do it.
Take care of yourself, Clinton.
All right. You see, as he says that, he kind of reaches out his hand and maybe pats your hand or lets your hand pat his, and he kind of takes it back and grabs one of his tankards and starts drinking.
If he's gonna sit there and get drunk, that's totally fine. She'll bounce.
Yeah, He basically is letting you get time away and before he goes out.
Cool.
All right. So mechanically, you have gotten a fracture. You found a fracture amongst the crows, and can exploit it at a time in which you so wish.
Does either action, either this time or previous time, help to reduce my stress? Because I feel like what happened before with Ricky Trax was fun.
Yeah, I think that's actually a stress reliever. You got a little bit of information, but nothing that you couldn't. That basically helps set up this. So mechanically, Sweet. let's do a indulge your vice. That's fine. Okay.
Sweet.
So moving, what do you got?
So I had 3. I'm gonna indulge my vice just by itself.
Yep.
I don't have to do anything. Okay.
No, you're good. So 4 or
Ooh.
1. So you want to take away 1? I'm assuming, not the 4.
Yeah, I'll keep the 4.
Okay. All right. So take away your stress. You should be at what, 0 now?
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Sweet.
So anything else from Miss Fritter?
No, Miss Fritter's aces.
Okay. We go from Miss Fritter to Miss Corbin. Yes. All right. So Miss Corbin, you have made a new alliance. Or potential alliance, and as you're trying to figure out where best to employ the services of the New Horizon, where do we find Miss Corbin at now?
You find her at the Charter Hall Dueling Academy.
Okay.
And the day before, she had left Eyes a left a card with the address, like, just us.
Okay. So is Miss Corbin there first?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she's
dressed in dueling attire. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what does Eyes see when Eyes walks in?
You see her getting ready for one of the classes.
Okay.
Fully decked out in the traditional attire. Very nice looking. Kind of matches with everyone else.
Okay. Is Miss Corbin the teacher or the student?
Student.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I never know with you all, so I want to make sure, and I'm cool with either one. All right. So, Eyes, you walk in, probably running maybe a bit late. Have all your stuff, and you walk in and see Miss Corbin fully booted up, ready to go to start this class. What happens?
Oh, did I come overdressed?
We have a few minutes. When you get they'll take care of you. Figured after the last couple of nights, we could all use a little bit of different styles.
Especially for what I assume is to come. So, I think that sounds very, very nice. traditionally, I figured I'd be coming here with a little bit of, angst to, get off my chest. But things are great.
Are they?
Yeah, I
The
know.
boy?
Yeah. You know, I I thought a lot about this after receiving your note, and I had the conversation with Darlene, and I thought I was coming over to negotiate my retirement, but it doesn't seem
Oh.
that is the case.
Hmm.
So you're stuck with me. Sorry, not sorry.
Class is going to start soon, so we'll have this talk a little afterwards. So I imagine the class goes, but at the end, we're left with like a private like room. So the boy's fine then.
Yeah, it's like nothing happened. Kids are resilient, so I don't know why I'm surprised.
Did you have a heartwarming little reconnection with your boy? Say I love you, that sort of thing?
Yeah. I mean, it's like I haven't seen him in a year, and it's like nothing happened.
Hmm.
It's pretty strange.
I saw what happened that night. Trying to shield the boy. Trying to shield the boy from violence from your life.
Yeah. That's why I thought. That's why I thought I we talked about this before, but I thought I couldn't have both. As it turns out, I can have everything.
I like to think that we're doing this like while we're kind of like kind of sparring a little bit, but
Right, exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's like statement, ting
Yeah,
ting. Yeah.
And do you think you're a good man? Good father?
Good man. I mean, try to be. Good father. Like the jury's out.
Well,
It's probably to be a good father. I probably need to be away from this life, or
but
maybe
you
to be a
can't
great one.
give it up,
No.
can you? Because you could have petitioned for us to get rid of the hall, get rid of the thing,
Yeah.
get your son. I'll give you one hint. We are going up against far, far more dangerous enemies than the crows, than the race. Do you know what happens to good men? What good men I have seen?
No, but I'm sure you'll tell me.
They're dead. And their families are dead. What I saw the other day was weakness.
He'll like at that particular moment he'll like stop, and he's actually like a little more aggressive in the sort of response. Really? You think vulnerability is weakness? You think doing the right thing is weakness?
In our line of work, reputation is everything. If you have a reputation, it affects how people work with you and work against you. If people think that you are soft and that you will not retaliate for taking things that matter to you, your son, if you won't end them, if you won't retaliate in process, they will think you're soft and they will go after him again and again. Because the people that we're going to deal with will do that.
He kind of nods and lets that thought kind of permeate. Except for you're missing one very important detail that I think you already know. Our last conversation about this, I wasn't willing to do everything. And then they took him, and I was ready to kill literally everyone.
But you
Matter
didn't.
of fact, didn't have to.
You let Miss Fritter do the job for you. What happens if it's your hand that has to do it?
No hesitation.
Really?
No. I just didn't want to do it in front of him.
That is hesitation. If
It's
you
the right
don't
decision.
think to do it, he will find out at some point. And you have to decide if you're going to be a good father or if you're going to live here. Because if you don't, those choices will be made for you. And I don't think you will like the results. I've seen too many people die. And this is one thing. Figure out what your priorities are.
Amazing. I would have agreed with you. But I think this is different. For those good people, the ones that you're talking about, were they as good as me? And pretending to be bad? Were they willing to go as far as I? You might be right. Hesitation, vulnerability. Maybe they are. Maybe they are weak as you say, but I do not agree. I'm willing to prove it. I literally was ready to walk in here today. You know what you could have done? You had every opportunity to just say, no, you don't get to leave. And then you could put my family on the line and say that you have to stay if you wanted to, but you didn't. Because the thing that's really interesting about it is that means that you're just as vulnerable as me.
We'll see. I hope you're right. My life depends on it, your life depends on it, and the life of your son depends on it. I hope you're as good as you say you are. Really.
Who recruited who?
Interesting. Well, I hope it doesn't have to come to that. With your son, just keep a good care of him. Learn what you can for yourself. Because nobody, Miss Fritter, Preacher, no one might be there next time. And it might have to be you against whatever monster they send for him.
You're right. You know, Darlene actually even had the opportunity to just. I was actually gonna give her the opportunity to leave without me.
with the boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that you would let them.
No. I'm probably lying to myself. You're right. But this is gonna be a hell of an event.
Surely.
What happens?
Look forward to it. Things are going to get a lot harder from now on. It's not going to be as much victory and spoils. We have gone up. And the people that are there now will try their best to slam us back to the ground.
You're right. It won't be about victory or defeat. It'll be about recovery. It's a game of inches.
take what you can, give none. Take, but don't give.
And with that, the instructor calls for a break, a water break, and you all kind of part ways for a few seconds. Maybe go to do some thinking on your own and finish the class as you will.
Mhm.
Anything else that needs to happen in this scene?
I think that's good.
Absolutely. Ms. Corbin, from your side, one that's amazing for you both. Stress, are you doing, is this
I am training.
training? Okay.
Yes.
I also think Eyes gets a training out of this as well.
Yeah.
Right, so this would be what, it's either prowess or
It's-
you could even use it for insight as you're learning the tales of another person. I think it's either one. So whatever you all want to use it for, use it for where you choose to.
Yeah, I think it's for Miss Corbin. This is definitely for. She didn't perform as well as she had hoped. She's a little rusty in that, so she's using this purely for skirmish.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I just wanted to let you know that whatever attribute, if you want to use it, insight, prowess, or resolve, because you talked, like whatever you feel like your character got out of this is what I think you should train in. So use it for whatever. Cool.
Okay, excellent.
All right.
I think finesse is gonna be.
Okay, you're gonna put it in prowess as well. Okay.
We since we have the team thing where
You do for prowess. So if you train in prowess, you get 2 flags instead of 1.
Excuse me. Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
excellent. Yes, that's it. That's
All right.
Internet high five, Shauna.
Yes.
You fucking rock.
you too. That was you. Ooh.
All right.
I literally have goosebumps.
All right, so we've done Miss Corbin second. We've done Miss Fritter second. We're now let's jump to Preacher's second, and then we'll come back to Eyes' second, if that's cool.
Perfect. Yeah.
Preacher, what are we doing? What is your second downtime action?
Well, since I don't have a purveyor of vice anymore, I have to burn one of my actions just to try to lower my stress a little bit at least.
Okay.
I guess with an activity or whatever.
You can find a new purveyor. It just means that your current one was cut off.
Yeah. But,
So-
which is okay, because
Yeah.
I kind of just want to have a scene with Miss Fritter, to be honest with you.
Okay, so let's do that and use it. Also, if everybody's staying, we're probably going to go over by a little bit. The RP's too good. I don't want to cut this off right at 10. We all have a little bit more of off time tomorrow, so we're probably going to run over some to make this worth it. So I just want to let you know we are going to run over. We're not going to cut off right at 10. All right. So where is this scene happening between Fritter and Preacher?
Well, I always know where Miss Fritter's at least most of the time. Always in her little kitchen of sorts. Depending on what she's
It's a
doing.
real kitchen.
Yeah.
Like,
People
I
get
wouldn't suggest eating
poisoned
the
there,
food.
you know.
Yeah.
Just
I
saying.
wouldn't suggest eating anything.
Sometimes it's a mortuary. But
what do y'all think of her? Like, come on. It's a
We
real
don't
kitchen.
know.
what happened. What just happened?
I was okay. Just to peek behind the curtain real quick. I've never had that happen. I've never been so blindsided that I
was
thought
incredible.
it was going to go one way, and then be totally blindsided by now here's my real intent. It was completely the most amazing
were-
thing ever, and
Guys
I'll never
nailed it.
think of the same thing again.
we were
So
30 fucking minutes into the episode, and like she's already poisoned somebody.
right, I now read in chat. They're like, I bet it was poison. Nathan's like, oh, she's gonna have a nice conversation with this guy. I'm gonna make him as super nice as possible. I'm gonna make him having a bad day. So all right, my bad. Go on. Anyway.
Anywho, I would say this is probably after the scene with at the university and all that. Sort of enter into her abode. Probably had that smell of that Leviathan oil still probably prevalent. Maybe some of the smoke from the fire.
Absolutely,
itself.
yeah. You could smell it on you a little bit. That it seemed to have carried with you. Maybe you smell the smell of char and ash on your hands, like you've been barbecuing, and it's like I can almost see Preacher rubbing his hands together, it's like to get it off or to wipe it off. It just isn't. That smell is there.
Right. What is Miss Fritter doing at this time? I would assume baking.
She has her apron on, but not tactical. This is just a normal apron. and she's got like rubber gloves on, bleach. She's cleaning her pans. It's a serious operation, but she'll make time for you if you don't mind her scrubbing while you talk.
Do I want
I can take a break though if I need to take a break.
Do I want or do I need to know about why you're doing that?
Have you eaten today?
Not very hungry currently.
I'm just asking. I'm sorry, I didn't realize how that came across. I'm so sorry. No, I'm asking as to like whether or not you would have like a weak stomach or like that. I wasn't. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I'll try to make it quick. See, you're quite busy here.
Just cleaning up loose ends.
Figured that much. With all the hubbub and all the chaos that's been going around us very, very, very lately, I never had the chance to thank you for handing over Ezekiah's effects to me.
Did you ever look through the rest of the crate? I feel like you found the notebook and then you just sort of stopped that day, and I've always wondered what else was in there.
I don't rightly think that I need to know what else is in there.
Would you like me to do something with it? I think it's still sitting in the apartment.
Just let it pass on somewhere else. I don't know what's in there. If there's some clothing or something one of your children need, then by all means, be charitable with it.
Okay, that's totally fine. I'll take care of it. I don't want you to be burdened by that.
It just feels like it's weighing me down too much.
The crate itself, or is this a meta?
It's a metaphor.
Okay.
I suppose I'm not the most grand with words, am I? You mind if I take a seat just for a moment?
Do you want something to drink?
I've just been walking all day, thinking.
I'll get you some water. How about you want some water?
Water's too much for the goat. Just some whiskey would be fine.
Totally fine. Whiskey's flowing free today. She gets him a normal glass of whiskey, in which there is no poison.
I appreciate you clarifying that.
Jesus Christ.
Miss Fritter, can I ask you a personal question?
You may ask.
But you're not going to be obliged or obligated to answer, of course. You in the kitchen and the apartments and the children. Why you hold on to all this?
Do you want a real answer, or do you want an answer that has something to do with you?
No, something to do with me. It's just curiosity eating at me, I suppose. My only thought was maybe, and don't take this the wrong way, that maybe you felt useless unless you were lightening the burden of other people out there. Because it seems like you've sort of taken over the mother role in all this.
How long have we known each other?
Well, we just had a little bit of time before the syndicate had formed.
But my husband had already died when we met, correct?
I'll be honest with you, Miss Fritter, I didn't even know you had a husband at one point.
That's enough of an answer.
Did you
when
know
my
I had
husband,
a wife?
Sir?
Did you know I had a wife at one point?
Yes, I think I know more about you than you realized. To answer your question, when my husband died, I took it upon myself to start paying more attention to everyone around me. I always paid attention to my kids when they were in school. I took great care to nurture those relationships while I was still working at the school. But once he died and I didn't have to really work anymore, I decided to continue that. And, you know, I own this building. I own everything on this block. And I feel it's just the best use of my time to keep trying to help people. And as long as they tell me I am, and I'm not a burden to them, then I'll continue.
But how does this line of work line up with that?
I feel I'm only continuing to help people.
But you're also destroying people at the same time. Now, you may deem them good or bad or whatever sort of ethical scale you want to put them on, but the fact of the matter is you're still killing someone's, brother, sister, child, whatever it is. Now you know you raised a lot of orphans, and you might have created a lot more on your path since then.
Maybe they'll find their way to my block someday. I don't stay awake at night thinking about that. I sleep quite well. And I don't think that anybody that crosses my blade got there inadvertently.
See, my curiosity was whether you had a moral compass, or if you truly thought you were doing something good, or you just were a sociopath. And I don't mean it negatively. I just need to understand where you stand within the great scheme of all this. Things are about to get interesting.
Do I have a moral compass? My husband was the North Star of my moral compass, and he kept me grounded. And we don't have to get into the specifics of how he died, and I'm sure Miss Corbin could fill you in if you really wanted to know the details, but I don't ever intend to concern myself with the morality of others. I'm only concerned with what I consider to be the goodness of people as they are. And I, again, reiterate, I don't think that if we're on opposite sides of the table, that happened by mistake.
You, you really loved your husband, didn't you?
I did.
I've been told my entire life that men like me, we can't love. Not the line of work that I do. And the further in that I go, the more truth that resonates with me. So it's interesting to hear, or at least see this North Star, as you like to put it, still guiding you. And you still can have some grasp of what that word, emotion, verb, whatever you want to call it, really is. That's still possible.
You know, it's funny you say that. I would never think of you as someone who would concern himself with buying flowers or reading poetry or any of those sweet little moments. But the word love is so complex. A good synonym for it is devotion. And I believe I have witnessed you exercise great devotion.
My wife, I didn't just love her, I chose her every day. Every day. And that was the thing, it was a choice, you know? And then I made another choice with the with Satara, the thing that lived in beside me before. Something that changed everything. And I made that choice. And until yesterday, I hadn't killed anybody from that point until then. And he's just sort of look forward at you. My wife was the last person that I'd ever killed. And I loved her. What kind of man does that make me, exactly?
Why did you kill her?
Like many of the other propositions that Satara had given me, it was either her or Hezekiah. I chose
So
Hezekiah.
you killed her to save your son?
Mm-hmm.
As someone who has personally been responsible for the lives of many children, I can promise you that most parents would make that decision the way you did. Most people would pick keeping their children alive.
I think this may be where you and I might differ, actually, in opinion. Because I think that a real parent would have chose themselves. But I didn't do that.
I honestly can't imagine that outcome. And I think if you really believed that, that's the choice you would have made. Your guilt about killing your wife is something you need to come to terms with, though.
It's only part of it. Because that's where Hezekiah came in again. Because I had the choice whether I was going to let Satara have him or let Satara kill him. And instead of letting the boy die, I let him become possessed. Once again, I could have chose myself in that instance. But once again, I was too goddamn selfish to let it happen. A part of me likes to think that maybe I was being thoughtful to the point where maybe I could one day rescue him from it and he could still live. But I could have ended it all. Done. One bullet would have ended it all. But I didn't choose that. That's the guilt that I carry around with me, Miss Fritta.
How do you seek to rectify the situation?
I either gotta pull that demon out of that boy, or I gotta kill him.
Sounds like we have a plan.
So, that's why I was curious about your moral compass. On my own, because I didn't know if I'm doing the right fucking thing here or not.
I don't know your boy. I never met him, and he obviously wasn't one of mine, but I think the right thing for you to do is to find him and deal with this. And if you would like my assistance in whatever way I can provide it for you, I'm happy to do so.
We need to go get him. And I can't do it alone.
I don't think anybody anticipated you would do it alone.
Not after with Joseph. What happened with Joseph, I had no intentions or thoughts that it would ever happen alone. This group solidified. We were a bunch of broken links, and all of a sudden we were one cohesive unit when one of us got threatened. And make no mistake, that boy is now part of the Ash Syndicate, whether he likes to be or not. He's a part of this family.
Well, we may protect him, but he certainly has agency to make his own choices.
Mm-hmm.
But he certainly
To a
is
degree.
under our protection.
Yeah.
We can do the same thing for your son.
Would you like to take a walk with me? I'd like to go see my wife one last time before all this goes down.
Of course. Let me turn a few fans on, maybe put something else on real fast. I don't think that bleach stains are really appropriate for the sidewalks. So she'll quickly dress into something that looks far more characteristic of her. Full tactical vest, of course, under her cardigan.
Absolutely. Okay. And where are you walking towards?
My wife is also buried in the same spot that her husband's buried.
Okay. The mausoleum in Crowsfoot?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Okay. So that's where you all start slowly walking, talking as you go. All right. Anything else from that?
No, I don't think Miss Fritter wants to be my new purveyor of ice, so...
Nope, but you still need to roll mechanically. That's good.
Okay.
And I do believe that this qualifies as you would have visited the mother before, the priest before.
Okay.
Getting things off your chest is absolutely part of your vice.
Okay, so I'll roll to indulge vice.
Yep, roll to indulge vice. As we end that scene, a 2 and a 1. All right, so where are you at stress wise?
6.
You were at 6, so you're now at 4. Or you were at 8 and you're now at 6.
No, I had 6 and I'll be
Okay,
at 4
so you're now at 4. Okay. That scene ends, and our scene picks up with Eyes. Where is Eyes?
So Eyes, shortly after his training session and conversation with Miss Corbin, is going to reach out to Preacher.
Okay.
And the note essentially will read, this is probably stupid because they're probably watching us, but let's have some fun, shall we? Maybe at 2 cats. Maybe at 2 cats.
I will answer that. With my presence.
With another note. Yeah, he'll make his way there first. And there'll be 2 dark whiskeys waiting for you. So last time we were here, we had a bit of a revelation. So I think, considering what's happened, both with your son and mine, I thought it might make sense there to be a bit of a sequel. Because I think things were definitely a lot simpler back then. And also, that whatever the hell you did was incredible, super clutch, and I owe you a couple. So cheers to you.
You don't owe me anything, Eyes.
I wish it was that simple. You know, I almost quit today.
Well, You did just almost lose your son. So
The problem is there's a high possibility that there will be a sequel to that too.
always in this life, yes.
So yeah, so I'm making a really dumb, selfish, unconscionable decision by essentially winning everything. That's not what this is about. We're gonna talk about you. I know that's weird. Typically, I like talking about myself a lot.
Hmm.
However, what happened at Miss Fritter's was insane and not what I expected at all. Um, the arcane is not something that I'm familiar with by any means. So we're here to discuss two things. One, and I plop the dagger from the beginning onto the table, kind of spin it around. What can you find out about this thing for me? That's one. And two, what can I do for you in regards to your son? Let's go 2 for 2 and be undefeated with beautiful, touching reunions.
I'll take the dagger up off the table and just sort of like run my eyes over it. It's a scary piece of hardware you have here.
You know, the first time I used it, I threw it at my son. Can you believe it?
Given the moment, I'll be honestly, no, I can't believe it. It was reckless, if I must be truthful. But desperation, I'll file it away for that for now. But I'll take a look at this and have some of my colleagues do the same.
Wonderful.
I don't. Not all reunions are happy, as you know that as well as anybody. And I don't really know how Ezekiah's and I's reunions are really going to go. I don't know if it's going to be happy or bloody. So I'm not really sure what to ask of you other than to just be there like you've always been there for me.
But have I really?
You know, given this lifestyle that we're living, let's just call it that, I think we're as there for each other as we possibly can be. My only regret is I wasn't smart enough to keep an eye on your boy to let him get captured in the first place.
You should just completely wash that regret completely away. I already have plenty right here to live with. No need for that to expose itself into others because, quite frankly, we got things. And honestly, if I'm to continue on in this life, I needed something like that. There was a line in the sand for me until then. I wasn't planning on killing anyone unless they threatened me. But I recognize that this game requires a little more of that darkness. My mistake was thinking that I needed to rely on you three to complete that for me. But the truth is that you guys need me to go that far too. That's what that was about.
Can your soul take that, though?
You know, it's almost a gimmick. I always say, right? Good guy pretending to be a bad guy. I don't know how long I can say that much longer. I think we're about to find out, though. As far as my soul, maybe you can probably tell for me, because I don't really fucking care.
Oh, I don't believe that at all. I think you care quite a bit. Because you know
You're a
that
good liar.
every action from here on out could potentially mean the death of that boy. Could mean the death of his mother, too. Because the people who are coming after this, they're not going to be coming just for us, you know. They're going to hit us in the parts that hurt the most. It's going to be the things that we love.
You're right. It is dumb. I could just pay for them to get out of town, and that would be that. But then all of this that led to this means absolutely nothing if I do.
Why are you choosing this over them? That's my question.
I'm not. I get to have both. I know. I think I'm lying to myself too.
As you get to have both for now.
You're right.
One day you're going to be dead, or the boy's going to be dead, or his mother's going to be dead. It's going to happen eventually. We can't keep pretending like there's a happy ending to all this. There's no happy ending to any of this.
No. So why not enjoy what you can? We got here by rolling the dice. Literally.
I'm just wondering if you're going to enjoy it so much if you have to bury your son in the process. See, this is what I potentially might have to do. I might have to bury my son. I don't like the idea of a father burying his child. It's never sat well with me. And I'm not sure I can enjoy this life after that.
No. I don't think I would be either. But again, I think I was lying to myself thinking I could walk away from either. I think the truth really is I'm stuck with both, whether I like it or not. And then what falls first? He just takes another sip of his whiskey.
Yeah, it's going to be your body or your soul, I suppose.
To both.
To both.
Preacher, as you grab the dagger, slides across from you. You wrap your hand around it, and you think, "Yeah, I'll check into this." But you don't need to. You know what this dagger does. This dagger, or a dagger just like it, was used in a ritual on you. Was used in a ritual to some of the tattoos and the scars, the things along your back. They start to itch. Your clothes feel too tight. They feel like they scratch. You feel those small punctures at the tip of that dagger, and you see it as it pinprinted your back in a scarring fashion. You feel it. You feel the urge to hold in the yell, the scream that you never made in the original ritual. You feel it even now. And I think that your hand involuntarily starts to shudder just a bit. Do with that what you will.
Point of order in regards to that specific piece of information.
Yes.
With my ability, like looking into a mirror, he said he was going to look into it. Can I tell that he was not exactly being forthright?
I think that was before he touched it. So I think he had all intents of looking into it, and yes, he was going to. Okay. But if you were to still look at him now and to see his hand slightly trembling just a bit on the dagger, maybe without even realizing, I think that he gets a far off look in his eyes as he starts to remember a little bit. So I don't think it was a lie.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
But I think you realize more. There's more to it than than what it first appeared.
Yeah, things are a little more
Yeah.
raveled up than
Absolutely.
maybe I anticipated. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Are you all good?
I'm phenomenal.
Okay. Mechanically, what do you want from that session?
I was just wanting to keep my clock going on dagger knowledge. I'm
Absolutely.
2 for 4 right now.
All right. So go ahead and roll it up. Is this consort with preacher? Is it what is it? Is it study as you're picking his brain?
Yeah, let's consort. Why
Okay.
not?
And you get an extra die because you used another PC.
Coolio. Control, desperate.
Control.
Okay.
And then Miss Corbin, we're going to go to your third, or whoever you choose, you deign for your third. I want to make sure I remember this time. It's only taking me 4 downtime sessions. 5 gets you 2 pips, and so by the time preacher gets it back to you, he will have given you all information about said dagger.
Great. Perfect. I'm
right.
good.
Miss Corbin, show is yours.
Yeah. So after the long day, she's getting ready to turn in for the night in her apartment. She's closed her books, looking into the hive, looking into the crows, looking into what her next steps are. She's in her nightgown and her simple robe, hair's down, makeup's off, the mask is off a little bit. She is inhaling the dream smoke and just looks tired. And she looks at the clock and realizes it's time for bed.
And as she goes to put down the dream smoke, she actually notices there are 2 more rolled pieces of parchment awaiting for her for the day. One is from Salia, and the other is from Chaos Finn.
I'm not going to sleep without knowing what these are, so might as well see what they are.
Absolutely.
Can think about it at night. She'll unroll them and look at them.
Okay. Which one first? Also, go ahead and let's roll up the indulge your vice before
Okay.
That's what you wanted to do, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and indulge your vice.
2. Okay, so I am at 4.
Okay, so 2. That's good. All right, which one are you rolling first?
Get the Salia one first.
Okay, go ahead. The note unravels and it's solid. It's an encrypted. I imagine it's an encrypted form that maybe you and Sally have worked out before and kind of talk back and forth to provide information. But it basically says that there is a shipment of arms that is being brought in on a barge a couple of nights from here. They're going to be distributed. The crows have asked or purchased them and are bringing them in illegally through smugglers, through one of the smuggling groups. And she wanted you to know because she also heard about them, about the business that's kind of the anger that's kind of between. Maybe this is an opportunity, but they have purchased a number of crates that are going to be offloaded to them in a couple nights' time. So there's that. You can ask follow-up or we can gather information if that's what you all decide to do. And the one from KS Finn. The one from KS Finn simply says, you're going to be provided an opportunity. Figure out where your loyalties lie. Signed, KS Finn.
As she puts out, she'll kind of scoff a little bit. She'll look at the ones from Stella. It's like, oh, they'll have to know. This can wait till morning. Well, they should like this one, at least. But I'm tired. As she gets up, she puts her robe on, and she passes by the bedroom and walks down the stairs past the office into the basement, where there's amongst all her items of practice, or the dummy that he uses for target practice. There is an alcove, covered alcove, where she has an old mattress and some bedding. And this is most nights where she sleeps. Old nice
Absolutely.
beds are alien to her, alien to how she grew up. They're more agitating, they provide more of a flight response than comfort. It's like not something. She is used to being uncomfortable, hearing the noises of the city outside, and being in cramped spaces. And that's how she'll go to sleep for the night.
And as we look at our other crew, as they go to sleep tonight, Eyes, you take one last look at Jacob, who finally, your boy is in your home. And of course, your place is a bachelor pad, so I can see him sleep in a king-size bed with pillows stuffed all around him to prop him up. And maybe you're going to take a sleep on the couch or the floor or whatever, to give him the most space. But before that, you pop in and turn off the little light that he's used for a nightlight, and you just stand there and watch your son sleep for the first time in years. And it comes to mind the conversations you've had about what are you prepared to do? Are you a good man? Those things all pop in your head. You think as you go out to the couch and you lay down, questions and conversations for the morrow.
Just say out loud, whatever it takes.
And as the camera pans over to where Miss Fritter is getting ready for bed, you mentioned that your husband was your North Star, your rock. What do you still keep in the house to remind you of him? What is your compass now?
Well, it was going to be a literal compass, but now I can't say that because you just said that. So,
It still can
I
be.
keep his fountain pen that he used in all of his businessy dealings and everything.
Did he write you something with that fountain pen?
Many, many, many letters.
And are those beside the fountain pen?
No.
They're kept separately?
Yes.
His desk is as he left it?
Yes.
Maybe you walk down the hallway, slow shuffling steps. You look in and see that the light was left on in there. You pop in, take a look over at his desk where he sat, where you'd come in and see him many, many times. And it brings you a warmth to your heart to know that he's still there. Okay? The camera pans slowly down to Preacher. Preacher is up late into the night and has been every night for a long time. There's a glass of whiskey sitting beside his table, whatever he is working on right now. The same glass of whiskey, been filled a few times. Your head's nodding off, and slowly you're starting to fall asleep when your hand inadvertently does one of those little jerks and hits the glass, and it falls down with a crash. That's not what wakes Preacher up. No. What wakes Preacher up is that throaty laugh from earlier. Elias.
You know I can hear you. So
Yes.
speak what's on your mind.
That's the fun of this. Just to think you were hidden from me for so long. So long you were hidden. And then you called me back.
That boy didn't have a choice, not like I did. And I'm making the choice for him now.
Oh, you've had the choice all along. It's always been your choice. That's what makes this so great. I didn't have to do anything. You made the choices.
What pisses me off so much is I know that you're right.
Of course I'm right.
You know, I never felt so wounded than by your laughter.
You always knew what to say to make me perk up.
I'm returning for those honeyed words and that power, and you know that I am. But you know the reason why I am.
No. Tell me.
I'm here to save that boy's soul before you become the cancer in it that you became in mine. I know you find it humorous. I know you find it so fucking humorous that I'm coming back to you after all this time.
It saddens me that you were wounded. I was wounded too. When you gave me to him, when you chose to give me to him, I thought, what did I do wrong? And then I realized you just were allowing me to share in your family.
You know the choices that you gave me.
I know what you chose. I know what you could have chosen, but you couldn't do it.
No, I could not. No, I could not.
And now, my time is almost on arrival.
You know, for all these years, I always thought that I needed you. I needed you in every aspect because I was too fucking weak to survive in this world without you. And now I'm beginning to understand that I'm not the one that needs you, you're the one that needs me. Otherwise, you wouldn't keep coming back. You would be haunting my dreams or my words, my footsteps, and following my every little fucking action that I have out there in this world. You need me. And I'm going to oblige that need.
You know, demons live a long time, Elias. She stops and almost just feels, she inhales your name. And yet, humans surprise me every once in a while. You and your choices were a surprise.
It's been a long time also being angry and regretful. Always demonizing you, of all things, to be the thing that ruined my life. And I finally realized that I'm the one that ruined my life myself. And I'm not here for redemption. I'm just here to accept the fate that I chose.
Brave words.
You only need to show yourself, and I'll make them come true.
Oh, very, very soon, Elias. I don't want to ruin this little feeling I have now. We will see each other very soon, either in the spirit world or in the flesh.
I'll be ready to make that deal with you one more time.
Sweet dreams. And that's when I think your head lifts straight up off the desk.
I think I'm just going to clutch that dagger that Eyes gave me. I'm going to press it into my flesh just so I can remember that feeling from before. What it felt like to be in pain. To be a part of the purge. For my own flesh just one more time.
And I think that's where our session will end, with the drops of a liquid hitting the floor. And that's where session number 8 will close.
Holy fuck.
I don't know what y'all are all upset about. Basically, nothing happened tonight.
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
I didn't know playing a demon would be so fun.
Dude,
it's fun.
Nate, you killed it.
Yeah,
That was
he's
awesome. That may be
All
my
right.
favorite NPC of yours so far.
Fuck, he's telling the truth in every word. What am I supposed to say to this?
Thank you all for joining us tonight on another amazing
Oh my
night.
God.
Again, I say this every week. I don't know that we can go up any higher with the players. We have the amazing RP that just how good they are. I want to thank you all for jumping in, joining us, and for being here with us. We have a good time. We love hearing back from you all. We love having you in chat, see on YouTube, on Twitter, everything. We enjoy this and enjoy interactions with you all. So we want to thank you for that. You're the reason why we're doing this here and not just playing a home game. So we want to make sure you all are enjoying it as well. Again, I'm Nathan. I've been your narrator, and he, him pronouns. I can be found at Not Another Nate on Twitter, on Discord and some other stuff too, but basically on Twitter most of the time. We want to thank you for jumping in tonight. We'll go around one last time, introduce our cast, and make sure everyone's okay, and just kind of do an outro. Make sure it was a pretty intense session, so I want to make sure everybody's cool with that. And I know we were talking in chat between us, and so we were cool with it. Just double checking. Shauna, you want to go next?
Oh, wow. That was a hell of a thing. Always. Just can't wait until after these sessions. It was like, oh, can't wait for the next one. It's like it's another week. But yeah, I'm Shauna, Flying Cirrus on Twitter. Pretty much every place else. I have my art there and the games that I'm playing in. And actually, tomorrow I am going to be on part of the Fuck Cancer Roll Dice charity event tomorrow, kicking it off at noon Eastern time. For a game of Quest where I get to play a cat magician, and we're going to do a obstacle course / cooking contest, so that should be interesting.
Great. All right. Anywhere else?
Yes, and Mondays on Encounter Roleplay for the North. My character in that is Songlight's Fire Game, and my character has a love interest, and it is terrifying. It is more terrifying than anything I can think of, because it's like things are going well, and it's not gonna last.
Waiting for the other shoe to drop. All right.
Always.
Thank you. Hannah, do you want to go next?
Hannah, you can find me on Twitter at Stop That Old Woman. I play here and on Saturday nights in a Star Wars game, also on this channel. And that's all I do.
All right. Thank you. Duval?
Oh man, I'm so glad I have to cook stuff after this because I will not be able to sleep at all. So that's great. So hey everybody, I'm Jacob, Duval King, Jacob on the internet. So yeah, this is the best game. I'm in a lot of games. You guys, I'm in too many fucking games. This is the best fucking game. Holy shit. Anyway, so typically you can find me on Tuesdays on twitch.tv/Thread Raiders, playing a really fun half-orc fighter that is about to lose his shit. So check that out. That's 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. On actually this Friday, I will actually be doing a really fun level 1 horror one-shot on twitch.tv/Polish. She is amazing. We were trying to collaborate for like a really, really long time, which is fun because she lives in Australia. So it'll be the morning for her, Saturday morning for her, Friday night for me. It's like 7:30 Eastern time. So check that out. And then of course Saturdays, also on Thread Raiders. We survived what we thought was absolutely going to be a TPK last week. So come check out us crazy kids and Hannah's husband Corey trying to kill us continuously, and it's a super fucking good time. A little bit of Icewind Dale over there. God, I'm forgetting other stuff. Oh yeah, I started a Twitch channel, so check me out on Wednesdays playing Chrono Trigger when shit actually works. Actually, after Icewind Dale, me and Smitty are going to get drunk and do real talk. So come check that out, and we'll just hang out and do whiskey and stuff. So that's it. I fucking love this game so damn much. So fun to watch people do bad things.
It's fun to do bad things.
Fun to do bad things.
All right.
Amazing.
And Saevrick?
Hello. I'm Saevrick or Josh. He, him pronouns, and tonight I've been your player and your best friend. Let's see. We have this game coming again next week, which will be our penultimate episode. So episode 9. Next to the last one. We got a lot of stuff going on still, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all sort of puts in a nice little package at the end of all this. I'm very excited to see where this all leads to. Otherwise, let's see, Saturday, as Hannah had said, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a Star Wars D20 game that we run on the channel here. Hopefully we'll get to play this weekend, but we'll see. We've kind of had a mulligan the last couple weekends, unfortunately, because stuff's come up. But hopefully we'll have another episode come out there sometime. So if you're on YouTube and you're watching us live, right below all the description, there's ways to follow all these lovely people that you see on your screen tonight. So go give them a follow or come see us live sometime so you can be a part of this crazy chat we have going on here. Otherwise, that's all I got. Anything else y'all would like to say before we kick it off for this evening? Besides, thanks for staying around for another hour. Happy Thanksgiving.
Be safe.
Yes, be very safe. Don't be selfish. Be safe.
Yes.
Or Miss Fritter might just send you one of her famous pies.
Yep,
love it.
That's another shirt.
That's another shirt.
Oh my god.
And with that, we will say adieu for the evening, and we will catch you next week.
Damn right.
All right. You all have a
Heist
good
time. Let's go.
See you later.